I'm the Keystone Stitcher. Welcome, or welcome back if you're returning. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, today's my 1 week update on Arbitrary August. If you missed my last video explaining, I have 2 wheels. One I spin Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and on that wheel it has the 4 projects I would like to finish this year, and one that I want to get progress on, excuse me, so I can finish it next year. And then I have a second wheel that has all of my remaining whips on it, and I spin that randomly, and whatever I get is what I work on Saturdays. So, before I do the Arbitrary August, I'm going to start with my, shall we say, out of the apartment stitching. This is when I'm outside, when I'm traveling, I throw it in a bag and take it with me everywhere I go. When I have the urge to stitch, this is what I pull out. So this is life support. The artwork is by Giuseppe Miconi. It is charted by StitchingMoonDesigns. And I'm right now just filling in the black, which is what makes it a perfect summer piece. So this stitch right here is the very bottom of the design. You can see I finally got down to outlining the globe of water, and everything from about here down is new. So this is stitched on a scrap 20 count piece of Aquarius 20 count Aida by Color and Kind. So here's the before of where you saw it last. So yeah, this got a lot. I was out of the house quite a bit this week, so this got quite a bit of work. And yeah, I'm gonna keep chugging away on this, and then I think this will again be my piece for when I'm watching football in the fall here. Football season is quickly approaching. So let me show you the whole piece. I should probably start taking a picture of this. So this is, you know, the beginning of the hand, and this hand is huge. This is the bottom of the hand right here. You can see the fingers, and then we've got leaves and such. And yes, I need to fill in those leaves, and there's the bottom. So the hand is going to really take up a good majority of this piece. So that is life support. When I started this month, life support was at 30.8%. It's now at 34.19%. So now we finally got into Arbitrary August. I did not start it on the 1st. The 1st, I had like no time to stitch at home. I started on the 2nd, being a Saturday. I spun my second wheel, and the wheel picked my oldest whip, and that is One for Sorrow. The artwork is by Stephanie Pui-Mun Law, charted by Heaven Earth Designs. I thought I would be good, and I would fill in all of these empty stitches up here, and started with this block. There wasn't anything in this block here. So I started there, and I came across, and then I found some colors here that I filled in right along here, but those colors went down here. So I ended up filling in more in through here, and then I filled in and I brought down the leg. So you can see the leg is coming in, and then the foot right here. So that's One for Sorrow. I'll put a picture of where it was before. And this one, I forgot to write down where the starting point was, but I finally hit 18%. It's 18.04%. One of these days. This was actually started on my birthday, the very end of December. My birthday falls perfectly between Christmas and New Year's, and so that's when I started. So yeah, December of 2021. And this is on a 20 count even weave, and I'm not real enthralled with the even weave. I don't think I would buy it again. It's more expensive than Aida, and I don't enjoy it, so I don't think I would do that. So that's One for Sorrow. So now I got back to my I want to finish it wheel, and the first one it's spun is the one that I want to finish next year, and this is Strength. The artwork is by Nicolee Payne, charted by Unconventional X Stitch. I need to not be fussing with the fabric when I'm trying to talk. And I was working on finishing this page right here And I did. So you can see her first finger is coming in. So that would be her pinky finger, and she's got a ring on. And I will bring that in. And you can see I've kind of carried colors, you know, as I went. When I started up here, you can see the outline of her fingernail and the outline of that finger there. So I have a page finished. So here's where it was before. So when I started this, I was at 40.38. I'm now at 41.46%. And let's see, this is stitched on an 18 count Very Light Pewter by Zweigart. It's just one of their standard colors. So let me pull that back and check her out. Isn't she gorgeous? I'm not sure where I'm going to go next. I have an itch to finish that head wrap, that's the headscarf, just because I'd like to see that done. But I'd also like to see more of her face come in. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going to go next with this. I was doing diagonal pages, but now that I'm, you know, seeing the details of her face, I would like to do more of that, or get the headscarf out of the way, because it just seems like I've been working on headscarf for so long. So I'm going to put in a picture here of the before and the after, so you can compare, because that's way too big to try to hold up and show you. Okay, so now Tuesday rolled around and I spun again. And this time I spun Feasting Frenzy. This is by Dimensions, and I'm stitching this with Lisa from eCrafting in Colorado. I'm stitching this on a piece of fabric by Zweigart that I dyed myself. And here's the whole piece now. So this week I put in this bird, I put in this bird, and I started putting a little of the suet just so I could make sure I didn't miscount as I was coming down to that bird. I also did a little bit more, where is it? Yeah, a little bit more in here on that post for the bird feeder. And so there's where the whole piece is. So I'm going to bring this in and show you where it was last time so you can see. Oh, and I also did the very lower part of the belly of this bird here. I didn't do any more back stitch, so yeah, I will have a lot of back stitch at the very end. So what do I have left? I have the suet ball here, besides back stitch. I have the suet ball or the bird sack, the seed sack, whatever it is, and then I have a couple more birds over here and another of these sacks of feed. And then I can start on the back stitch. So, oh, and I have to finish, you know, I brought down a little bit of, right here, a little bit of the post for the bird feeder. So I'll need to finish off some details on the bird feeder. But yeah, that's where that is. This fabric is an 18 count, and I dyed this with Liquid Rit in the color teal. Thursday rolled around and it was time to spin the wheel again. And I hope this doesn't happen again. I enjoyed working on this to a point, but it spun my other non-full coverage. And so by the time I got to Friday, I was itching for full coverage. So this is Night Fairy. This is by Lanarte, or Lanarte. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. And here's where it is now. So I did so the entire top half is done because I did all of the back stitch. And then I came down here and I filled in, I've got her foot and the piece she's laying on and part of her clothes. And I came up here and I think it's possible, let me wrangle this fabric, that my mistake, which threw this off, okay, so I think I have a mistake in this bottom page, which would have been why this is one stitch out opposed up here. I wasn't sure if I made the mistake on the top half or the bottom half. If I made the mistake on the bottom half, I got to this point and thought, oh, what if I need to like fudge? What if I'm off there? So I came back over here and I just started putting in her head, her hair on the top of her head there. And I think what I'm going to do is work my way back across, and then if there's any fudging, I can do it right here instead of having to fudge as I go across the pages. And thank you for everyone's suggestions on what to do here. I too was thinking about adding another column to make this even. I'm going to wait till the very end because while I thought of that, my first reaction was, but if I add one more column there, then the other 3 corners are going to be a column short, and will that be noticeable? But I think it would be more noticeable in the frame that doesn't line up. So I'm going to wait till the end just to see, but I think that's what I will do to straighten that out, because there's no way I'm frogging any of this. So here's where Night Fairy was before. And yeah, I have no stats on either Feasting Frenzy or Night Fairy because they're paper charts. And yeah, so, but now I was really itching for full coverage, and yesterday rolled around, and well, actually, I started this Friday night, so it was about midnight. I was heading to bed when I realized I didn't want to head to bed yet. So we have a bar near here that has live music Friday and Saturday night. If I go to bed at midnight, when the bar closes at 2, the noise carries outside, and they a lot of times will wake me up. If I sleep for 2 hours and then I get woken up, I can't go back to sleep. So I've gotten in the habit of just staying up until the bar closes. But I'd already put Night Fairy away thinking I was done. I was itching for full coverage, so I spun my other wheel and I got Grackles. And Grackles is my second oldest project. I started this in January of 2022, so right after One for Sorrow. And I worked on that until the bar closed. Now, if you're not from the States, you may not know, but in the United States, we are not, or at least the states I've lived in, you're not allowed to sell alcohol between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. And so once you can't sell alcohol, people don't want to be at the bar anymore. And so the bars just closed down. Last serving is right before 2 a.m. and then they trickle out. So this got a lot of work, and I think because I was itching for full coverage, I really sped through this. So here's Grackles, and I've been working on this last page. So I filled in some of the stitches in this top 20 stitch section. Then I came down, and everything down here is new. And yeah, so here's where it was before. So this started at 13.62%. It's now at 14.39%. This is on a 20 count aida, and this is my largest piece. This measures out at 270,000 stitches. So let me show you. So over here, there's a lot of the yellows, and so I'm going to, when I pick this up again, kind of chip away at the background of that yellow and then add some of the antlers in, because this is an antler coming in. So let me show you on my tablet what I'm talking about. So I just highlighted one of the yellows that I was working on so you can see all this. So we're over here. So this is the antler that let me get that out of here. Okay, so this is the antler you can see that I started to work on, and you can see all the yellow around it. But you can also see the antler coming down here and here. There's another piece of antler up here. So I do have, if I don't spend all my time on antlers, you can see I can jump back and forth when I get tired of the yellow. So that's where I'm going to go with that. And here is the entire key of Grackles. So this is, I have 38,000 stitches, and I've yet to finish the top row. So yeah, that's what I've completed. So that's Grackles. That's week 1. Week 2, I'm going to spend today, see what I get, and I will be back next Sunday to update you on how that week went. I'm hoping I don't have 2 spins in a row that are non-full coverage, because I need a break from that. I need to go back to my full coverage. So I hope you're having a great August. Are you doing Arbitrary August, or are you doing anything unique or special? Tell me about it, because maybe you'll give me some ideas for next year. And with that, bye.